Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry, and as we get into tonight's review, it's hard to know where the markets are going to open tomorrow, right? With the employment data and a potentially binary event, it's hard to tell you, oh, look for this exactly on Friday. I do think that this would be just a picture-perfect place for the markets to fail from, right? I'm sure you've probably already seen this trend line a dozen times, but it is a pretty important inflection point here for the SPX. So it's recovered the 200-day, the trend line is the next major area for decision. And once we get those numbers tomorrow, we should have the results of what that is going to be. Now, if bulls are still in control, and it may not necessarily be that buying the breakout tomorrow is the play, but depending on how the day shakes out, there are a few out there that I think look very good. I'd like to give this to you through its most basic review, which is to say, let's look at Boeing on a daily chart using two moving averages. I happen to have the 10 and the 21 shown on this chart, but you can see how you get a really nice move higher through here, and then the sideways trade allows that 10 period to catch up to price, and then for the most part I've been finding a pretty good bid there. I like to take that way of thinking, of following momentum on the daily chart and then moving that into the squeeze that you see on the 195. So I think that has bullish potential. I think that movement in Boeing, that pattern, looks very similar to Goldman Sachs, right? We can take this same way of thinking that acknowledges a very strong trend that led us here. Trade that has been sideways for the better part of a couple of weeks, again finding bids at that moving average, but into the witching expiration for this month of December, could we at least work our way up into 400? I think that makes sense, and then I like that with this squeeze. So keep that in focus for those two Dow components, and then finally let's have a look at Tesla. So Tesla is interesting today because it is one of the first times in a long time that it's been able to get above the 21 EMA and hold it, right? Back in here, it did get above the 21 EMA, but then closed at the lows. So that's really not constructive. But notice how between yesterday and then today, again, the only thing I'm really wanting you to see is that relationship to the 21 period exponential moving average. So yesterday's aggressive bid recovers that moving average, and then today, when it falls back down into it, was able to go bid at that price. That then gives you two daily closes above the 21 EMA, which is one of the first things that we look for in a trend reversal, and then you have a 15-minute squeeze, right? This signal I am using to look for directional movement. It's the idea that, this compresses as it trades sideways, it builds out the squeeze, and then when that directional energy does finally get moving, well, then I'm going to be looking for 200, and then above that up into 205. So I believe that will be in play for tomorrow. If not, and it takes out into next week, I'm okay with that as well. I really don't want to see it much below 190. So that's my line in the sand in pursuit of higher prices, and I hope you find it a helpful addition to your trading.
Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com. And I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.